Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about Guillermo Del Toro's Pinocchio. This version of Pinocchio came out in the final weeks of last year, and thankfully the other night I was able to check it out. The synopsis is as follows. A father's wish magically brings a wooden boy to life in Italy, giving him a chance to care for the child. However, the two of them have to struggle to find a place for themselves as Italy becomes embroiled in fascism. So without further ado, let's get into the 6 things that make a movie great. 1. The plot. Geppetto and his son Carlo are well known among this Italian village for being a model father and son, and Geppetto is a very excellent woodworker and often helps fix and create all sorts of projects around the city. Late one night, a bomb ends up falling on a building that Geppetto and his son Carlo are working in, and his son Carlo dies. Overwhelmed with grief, Geppetto ends up taking to the bottle, when one night a deity of life decides to give life to one of Geppetto's creations, this creation named Pinocchio. What follows is the journey of Pinocchio learning what it means to be in the real world and the consequences associated with that. And I gotta say, the story that is told throughout this movie is probably my favorite version that I've seen out of all the renditions of Pinocchio. The undertones of this taking place during the war and having to do with fascism actually adds a really interesting dynamic to the film, and it also provides an excellent subplot involving Pinocchio having to be at a war academy. And every rise and fall of this story are done very well, and you arrive at the end of the movie and you really enjoy where this one took you. The OG Disney film creeped me out. The remade version that Disney just released is pretty mediocre, and this one easily topped them both for me. So for me, plot gets a thumbs up. 2 is family friendliness. This version of Pinocchio is rated PG. There's a very, very mild bit of language in this movie. I can't even call it profanity because it doesn't even fall underneath that. There are multiple deaths in the film as well, though they're not graphic, and most of them take place off screen or it quickly pans away. And though there are some frightening moments, this movie's pretty tame. But just because it's tame doesn't mean that it's this watered down, terrible, brain dead version of a kids movie that we call kids movies nowadays. This movie tackles some challenging concepts. It gives kids some things to think about and some moral questions to ask themselves. And it was really refreshing because it's been a long time since I've seen a kids movie do something like that. Unfortunately for myself and other audience members, there's not some weird creepy donkey montage in this one. That always creeped me the frick out. So for me, family friendliness actually gets a thumbs up. 3 is acting and script. Right off the bat, I recognized a couple voices and I was just stoked to hear them speak for the rest of the movie. You have Ewan McGregor, Finn Wolfhard, David Bradley, Tilda Swinton, Cate Blanchett, Christopher Waltz, and Ron Perlman. A very, very talented cast, and they do an excellent job throughout this entire movie. The dialogue between characters and the musical numbers themselves are really well done, though there is one musical number that is purely based in potty humor. But other than that, the performances were flawless, it was very tight-knit, very well done, and it provided the ability for you to dive into escapism and really just be in and a part of the movie. So for me, acting and script get a thumbs up. 4 is character development. While Pinocchio is always kind of a wild card where you don't know if he's just going to spring up and do something ridiculous or if he's going to slow it down and learn something, you get to see his character progress throughout the entire film, and the interactions that he has with other characters do a really great job of highlighting where he's at on his journey. There's a sequence specifically with the character of Candlewick that I really enjoyed and think did a really good job showing how Pinocchio has grown on his journey. And it was one of my favorite sequences of the movie. You also get to see character progression and depth in the character of Geppetto, which I'm really thankful for because I feel like he's neglected in most renditions of Pinocchio. But they do a really good job of having him learn from his mistakes in the way that he's been acting since his son Carlo died. And I really liked his character journey in this film as well. So for me, character development gets a thumbs up. 5 is visuals and CGI. Holy stop motion, baby. Stop motion never ceases to blow my mind, especially when it's done in this amount of detail and it takes this long to do. It's seamless. It's incredible. And the fact that you're able to step into a movie like this and feel like you're watching a movie and not just this clunky version of clay and things moving around is a testament to how incredible stop motion animators are. It was absolutely amazing, and it doesn't reach into uncanny valley like some other animation does. It was easy on the eyes and was really incredible to watch. Visuals and CGI get a huge thumbs up. And 6 is rewatchability. This version of Pinocchio was an hour and 54 minutes long, and I felt that it was the perfect length to tell the story that Guillermo Del Toro wanted to share. Every sequence had purpose, none of them felt long like there was any useless dialogue or fluff, and they all came together to create this beautiful story. I can honestly say that this is the only version of Pinocchio that I want to watch from here on out. So for me, rewatchability gets a thumbs up. With all these areas considered, I have to give Guillermo Del Toro's Pinocchio an 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, this movie had a song about poop, but the stop motion animation was absolutely incredible. The vocal performances were seamless. The storytelling was meaningful and very well done. And the character development was done in a way that was actually natural and allowed us to step into the lives of Pinocchio and Geppetto and watch them on their character journeys. I really liked that despite this film taking on the darker version of Pinocchio's story, that it didn't cross any lines, and that it ended up providing us with the most well-made and palatable version of Pinocchio that I've ever seen. I really enjoyed this movie, and I can easily say that Guillermo Del Toro's Pinocchio is definitely worth checking out on Netflix. Thank you so much for watching. If you've seen Guillermo Del Toro's Pinocchio, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. As always, I appreciate your love and support, and I'll catch you guys and gals in the next one.